Hi, 5th and 6th graders. For your writing to end out our year, you are going to write a personal narrative. So you're looking at this sheet today. I'm going to share a sample of a personal narrative written by Gary Soto. So basically today, in today's video, I'm going to read that to you so that you can fill out the first couple of pages. You're also looking at this page in your packet, and this is where you really answer the questions on the personal narrative that I'm about to read you. As you're doing this page, if you're not really sure on this chart, I would just leave it blank, and we can come back and fill it in more as you get started on your personal narrative. When you are writing a personal narrative, your role is to be the writer. Okay, the format is going to be a first-person narrative. The topic is an event that happens in your life, and you'll do some brainstorming to come up with that event. And your audience, I'd say when you're writing this, you want it to be an interesting read for someone who is your age. Okay, so let's check out this example of a personal narrative. Here, so this is called The Bike by Gary Soto. My first bike got me nowhere. Through the shadow I cast as I pedaled, raced along my side. The leaves of bird-filled trees stirred a warm breeze and litter scuttled out of the way. Our orange cats looked on from their fence, their tails up like antennas. I opened my mouth and wind tickled the back of my throat. When I squinted, I could see past the end of the block. My hair flicked like black fire, and I thought it was pretty cool riding up and down the block, age 5, in my brother's hand-me-down shirt. I want you to notice in this first paragraph all of the description the author gives, and it really helps the reader be able to picture what's happening in his story. Going up and down the block was one thing, but taking the first curve out of sight of my mom in the house was another. I was scared of riding on Sarah Street. Mom said hungry dogs lived on that street, and red anger lived in their eyes. Their throats were hard with extra bones from biting kids on bikes, she said. But I took the corner anyway. I didn't believe Mom. Once, she had said that pointing at rainbows caused freckles, and after rain had moved in and drenched the streets, after the sparrows flitted in the lawn, a rainbow washed over the junkyard and reached the dark barrels of Coleman Pickle. I stood at the window, looking out, amazed and devious, with the devilish horns of my butch haircut standing up. From behind the window, I let my fingers slowly uncurl like a bean plant rising from earth. I uncurled it, then curled it back and made a fist. I should remember this day, I told myself. I pedaled my squeaky bike around the curve onto Sarah Street, but returned immediately. I braked and looked back at where I'd gone. My face was hot, my hair sweaty, but nothing scary seemed to happen. The street looked like our street, parked cars, tall trees, a sprinkler hissing on the lawn, and an old woman bending over her garden. I started again, and again I rode the curve, my eyes open as wide as they could go. After a few circle 8s, I returned to our street. There ain't no dogs, I told myself. I began to think that maybe this was like one of those false rainbow warnings. I turned my bike around and rode a few times in front of our house, just in case Mom was looking for me. I called out, "Hi, Mom, I haven't gone anywhere." I saw her face in the window, curlers piled high, and she waved a dish towel at me. I waved back, and when she disappeared, I again tore my bike around the curve onto Sarah Street. I was free. The wind flicked my hair and cooled my ears. I did figure eights, rode up the curves and onto lawns, bumped into trees, rode over a garden hose 100 times because I liked the way the water sprang up from the sprinkler after the pressure of my tires. I stopped when I saw a kid my age come down a porch. His machinery for getting around was a tricycle. Big baby, I thought. You can run over my leg with your trike if you want. It laid down on the sidewalk, and the kid, with fingers in his mouth, said, "Okay." I backed up and slowly, like a tank, advanced. I folded my arms behind my head and watched a jay swoop by with what looked like a cracker in its beak. When the tire climbed over my ankle and sparks of pain cut through my skin, I sat up quickly, my eyes flinging tears like a sprinkler. The boy asked, "Did it hurt?" "No," I said, almost crying. The kid could see that it did. He could see my face strain to hold back a sob, 2 tears dropping like dimes into the dust. He pedaled away on his bucket of bolts and tossed it in his front lawn. He looked back before climbing the stairs and disappeared into the house. I pulled up my pant legs. My ankle was purple, large and hot, and the skin was flaked with wood shavings. I patted spit onto it, laid back down. I cried because no one was around, the tears stirring up a lather on my dirty face. I rose to my feet and walked around, trying to make my ankle feel better. I got on my bicycle and pedaled mostly with the good leg. A few tears still in my eyelashes evaporated as I rode. I realized I would live. I did nothing fancy on my way home. No figure eights, no wiggling of the handlebars, no hands in my pocket, no closed eye moments. Then the sudden bark of a dog scared me, and my pant legs fed into the chain, and the bike came coming to an immediate stop. I tugged at the cuff, gnashed and oil black, until rupping sounds made me quit trying. I fell to the ground, bike and all, and let the tears lather my face again. I then dragged the bike home with the pant legs and the chain. There was nothing to do except lie in the dirt because my mom saw me around the corner from Sarah Street. I lay down when she come out with a belt, and I didn't blame the dog or the stupid rainbow. So that's a personal narrative story from Gary Soto about the first time he rode his bike away from his home. So that gives you an idea of what you can start thinking about. So using that story, you can answer the questions on this page and start to think about some of your own ideas of events from your life that you can use for a personal narrative. See you next time.